Close these up. Curious ass neighbors. Also, I bought this chair of somebody in my building, and I think he may have stole it from the floor model, because it's got like where you put the price tag on. And he was super sketchy. What's up, everybody? So today is a special video. It is both a personal video, but also one that I hope will help you guys, or help some of you guys out there. I am somebody that deals with anxiety, or I live with anxiety. Not all the time, of course, but I live with anxiety. So today's story, I want to share with you guys a very personal one, which is my very first panic attack and what it was like. I'm not quite sure how to do this. I didn't plan this, and this is a story that I literally remember second for second because it was one of the most terrifying things of my entire life. My first panic attack. So take me back to second year of college. So I decided to call my buddy Adrian. I was like, "What's up, Adrian? You wanna come up to the party, hang out for the weekend, whatever?"
Yeah, sure.
He was down. He comes up and he brings this bottle of Jaeger. And he brought up a bunch of energy drinks for Jaeger bombs. So we decided to play Xbox. We played this snowboarding game, and every time somebody lost, they had to do a Jaeger bomb. Now each round was about 2.5 to 3 minutes long. We did that all night long. We had finished a full bottle of Jaeger. We weren't that bad, and honestly, I can tell you now, I remember it all so clearly. I wasn't that bad. And that's what like everybody says when they're like drunk, like,
"Oh, I wasn't that bad, I'm fine, I could walk home."
I'm telling you, I was not that bad. So I go to bed, and this is where it all starts for me. Randomly in the middle of the night, I wake up. You know when you have a bad dream and it's almost like your body levitates quickly off the bed, like you just jolt awake? It was one of those. I jolted awake, and my heart was just pounding, like pounding so fast. I thought I was having a heart attack. I was sweating, I felt nauseous. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? So I go to the kitchen quietly, and I decide to look at how many energy drinks were in the recycling bin. And there was 8, meaning I had 4 and Adrian had 4. Pick up the can, I'm literally like shaking like this, and it says, "Do not exceed more than 2 cans." And I'm like, oh my God. I've had double the amount that the disclaimer is telling me. So I go back in my room, I'm freaking out, I'm sweating, I'm shaking, my heart is pounding, I feel like I'm going to die. Now, when I say I feel like I'm gonna die, it's different than legitimately feeling like you're gonna die. It is by far one of the scariest things that has happened to me because you have no control. So I go online and I go on this website called pushingupdaisies.com. I don't know if it's still around, but at the time, this was a site that would tell you how much of one thing would kill you. How many of these does it take to kill you? And these were big cans. They were like full-on big cans. And then it said something like, oh, you needed like 10 or 12 or something like that to really cause some serious worry that could affect your heart. So I sit there, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna die because this website says I'm not gonna die, whatever that means. I'm still shaking, literally nothing has subsided. I still feel awful, shaking, my heart's pounding, sweating. I run outside, go over the toilet, throw up everywhere. And this wasn't, again, it's hard to explain, this wasn't like drunk throw up, this was fearful throw up. It wasn't a lot, it was just, my body was so in shock that I threw up. Trying to be calm because it's weird, like mental health has come a long way since this time, and I was worried that my friend would think I was weird, or I didn't even know what was going on, to be honest. I didn't know it was a panic attack yet. So I go, yo, Adrian, wake up, yo. Man, I think I need to go to the hospital. Like, I feel like I'm gonna die, or like I'm having a heart attack. My heart is pounding, I can't stay still, I'm sweating. We gotta go.
You sure, man? You okay?
Yeah, man, we gotta go. So we go downstairs, out the building. My eyes start like bugging out. And the only reason my eyes started bugging out and I started to not be able to see was because I told myself I couldn't. I started worrying in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm already feeling like I'm gonna die. What if my vision goes? Sure enough, my vision goes. You guys have no idea, or maybe you do, how intense your mind is or what it can do to you when you're in that state. So sure enough, my eyes start going. I'm like, yo, Adrian, I'm gonna die, man. You gotta take me to the hospital. I can't see. Then I started thinking, yo, what if I couldn't walk? Sure enough, my legs start getting all weak. I was like, Adrian, man, I gotta sit down. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. This was all self-inflicted, all of it. So we get a cab. We got the cab to drive us to this one hospital. And this thing was like a ghost town. We go inside, there's two very overweight security guards with their feet up eating like M&Ms. Yo, is this the emergency room?
No, man, we close at like 9 o'clock. You gotta go to that hospital across town.
Are you kidding me? You guys, your ER closes?
Yeah, it does.
Great, thanks. Get back in the cab, and he drives us all the way across town. I get to the hospital, I go up to the nurse, and I hate hospitals. I already have like a fear of hospitals. So I go in there, they give me this tablet that I guess was something to calm you down. Took that, gave me some food, I slept for a couple hours, and then I was good to go. I go to the doctor, and I was like, look, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like I'm going to die.
Dan, what you're experiencing right now is a panic attack.
Holy shit, I had a panic attack. And that is where the story that I've already shared comes into play. I started to get sad, I didn't know why I wanted to cry, I didn't know what was going on, I was just very fearful. And in fact, because of that incident, I didn't drink really for almost a year and a half, 2 years. Now that was my first ever panic attack. But here's the struggle with living with anxiety. I get maybe 1 or 2 panic attacks a year, if that. If it's a good year, I won't even have any. But at some point, anxiety will kind of mess with me throughout the year, but now I'm starting to learn how to deal with it. Last night, which is what made me want to do this video, was how fresh of a panic attack I just had. This is super personal, but I had a dream a couple months ago that I died in a plane crash. Now this dream has kept coming back and back and back. I'm in a plane, the plane goes down, I die. I don't get to say goodbye to anybody, I don't get to say I love you to anybody, I just go. And my family finds out that I die through the news. It's a terrible, terrible dream. It's scary, and I don't like showing this scary side of me because I am a happy-go-lucky guy, but this is just the honest truth. So now when I get on a plane, every time I get on a plane, I get this feeling of something's not right here, something's not right. Okay, let me look at the wing, you know, I don't know, it looks a little shaky. You know, I feel like this is it. I think this is my last flight. It's gonna go down. I feel like it's gonna go down. But in reality, it's totally fine. So last night I was on a plane flying back from Vancouver to Toronto. And I'm talking, and all of a sudden, boom. We're gonna be experiencing some turbulence for the next couple minutes. Please take a seat and fasten your seatbelt. We should be through this shortly. It was like some turbulence. And instantly, my heart's like, I'm like, shoot. I'm like, yo, this is what you hear in the news. This is a story. This is it. We're going down. My heart was pounding. My hands, I couldn't unflex my hands. My arm was flexed. I was sweating profusely, and I couldn't move. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. That's usually what goes through my head whenever I have an anxiety attack. It's just, please stop. You could say stop thinking about it, but that's not how anxiety works. I came up with this analogy. Because whenever I talk to people about anxiety, they would be like, well, don't let it have control over you. Don't let it do that. Don't let it. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. It's not about letting it. It's about it just takes over and I'm just there for the ride. It's not the system of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Unfortunately, that doesn't work with anxiety, or in my case, it doesn't. Anxiety is like lava. Fresh lava that just came out of a volcano. You touch it once, you burn yourself, okay? You touch it again, you're gonna burn yourself just as bad as you did the first time. It happens again, you touch it, third time, equally as bad of a burn. Whereas some people think you touch it once, you touch it again, oh, it's not that hot anymore. Oh, it's starting to cool down. That's not what anxiety is. Anxiety is constantly fresh lava that you're touching and you're getting burned just as bad as the time previous. So I told this to the doctor, and she goes, okay, Dan, great analogy, but let's try this. Instead of having the lava erupt everywhere and getting burned all the time, let's try to figure out tools that will help you guide the lava, deal with it in a better place. And I thought, oh my God, that's genius. And that right there is why I highly suggest that if you're going through some sort of anxiety or depression, that you get help with it. Because I convinced myself, no matter what, every time an anxiety attack comes, I'm gonna burn myself just as bad as the last time. This doctor was just like, hey man, let's just think of it a different way. If I don't talk out my problems, it only gets worse and worse. And trust me, it got so worse once that I was depressed. And it wasn't fun. It's literally the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It was the worst year of my life. And that says a lot. Super personal video. I'd appreciate it if you guys would both be respectful to it, share your stories and start a conversation down below if you're comfortable. Now the reason I'm sharing this story is because I want to support Bell Let's Talk Day. Now this day alone has affected my life in crazy ways. I highly suggest you use the hashtag Bell Let's Talk, because every tweet that has that hashtag, Bell will donate 5 cents to mental health initiatives. Whether it's a retweet or a hashtag using that, it'll help somebody. Really appreciate you guys listening. Hopefully this helped you guys out there. If you'd like to share this with somebody, please do. On January 25th, use the hashtag Bell Let's Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you guys later.